All right. Hi, guys. Very good morning to you. This is me, Angela, and thank you for joining us in this focus activity 10 to 13. And we are going to be talking about adventure. So, we're going to be looking at a lot of wonderful vocabulary with regards to adventure. And before that, as you come in, I would like you to introduce yourselves. Okay, let us know where you're watching us from. Okay, and I would really love it if you could participate. And okay, as I see some of you are just coming in, let me introduce myself again. My name is Angela. I'm from a country called Nepal. Okay. And I live here in Milan. I'm a teacher at the school, my English school in Meravigli in Milan. Okay. I've been a teacher for almost 2.5 years. And I enjoy it. Okay, great. I am so glad to hear from you guys. Federico from Rome. Hey, Federico, I remember you from yesterday. And I can see Roberto Privitali. And Roberto is from Milan too. Great, Roberto. We're having such lovely weather today as well. And hi, Martina from Bologna. Hi. Very nice. Welcome to this webinar, and I am really counting on you guys to participate, comment as much as you can, all right? And we're going to be I'm going to be answering your questions. I am leaving my camera off today because of connection problems. I hope that's not a problem, so that we can, you can hear me better, and it's so that your comments come in faster. Okay, so great. All right, so let's see. Let's see what we're going to be talking about. All right, so in this focus activity, describing an adventure using conditionals, overcoming a fear. I know that most of you are worried about your conditionals. So today we're going to do a little brush up on your conditionals, and I am sure that by the end of this focus activity, you will be a little bit more confident than you usually are. Okay, so guys, I need you to answer these questions, okay? So life is an adventure or it is nothing at all? Okay, it's a quote from Helen Keller. All right, so do you agree with that? Do you agree that life is an adventure or it is nothing at all? It holds no meaning. Do you think the same? All right, and also, just to save time, as you know that the comments take a little bit of time to come in, I would like you to answer these questions. Okay, meanwhile, I want to say hi to Carla. Carla Politi, good morning. I'm Carla from Bologna. Hi. Everyone's from like Rome, Milan, or Bologna. Great. So number one, do you consider yourself to be adventurous or a daredevil? Guys, do you consider yourself to be adventurous or a daredevil? What do you think you are? Okay, what is the most adventurous thing you have done in your life so far? Very interesting questions. What adventurous thing would you like to do? What adventures would you like to avoid? Okay, so yeah, let me know these ones. Hi, Fabiola from Rome. Didn't I tell you we have 2 people from Milan, 2 from Bologna, and 2 from Rome? Okay, and there are other people watching who haven't introduced themselves. Okay, so guys, don't feel shy. Please do write in. Okay, and of course, please do write down your answers. Okay, some very interesting questions like, do you consider yourself to be adventurous or a daredevil? Ooh. Number 2, what is the most adventurous thing you have done in your life so far? Wow, can you share with us your experiences. What adventurous thing would you like to do, and what adventures would you like to avoid? Okay, nice, great. Now Federico's written in and he says, I consider myself an adventurous person, but not a daredevil. Maybe a daredevil is too much. Okay, you think it's a little too extreme. All right, understandable. Carla says, I consider myself to be adventurous. Okay, so Federico and Carla, and of course everybody else, I want you to write and tell me why you think you are adventurous. Okay, why? And Martina also says, I consider myself adventurous, but I'm not a daredevil at all. None of you consider yourselves a daredevil, do you? Okay, so it's going to be an interesting focus activity, because I see that most of you are adventurous, and I want to know what you've done that is so adventurous. Okay. Meanwhile, let me tell you about my adventures while you are writing down, so that there's no like pin drop silence. I do consider myself adventurous because I have changed cities so often. I have lived in many parts of the world. So yeah, I always push myself from my comfort zone. And I do consider myself to be a little bit of a daredevil, because I mean, I have skydived, and so I have jumped out of an aircraft at 16,000 feet, which was quite nice. I liked it. So that's the reason why. Okay, so meanwhile, Federico has said, the most adventurous thing I have done is to jump from an airplane with the parachute. Oh, Federico, you and me both. With the instructor, of course. Oh, yes, because if you're doing it once, you have to do it as, tandem, right? So a tandem skydive. Very nice. Federico, where did you do this? Let me know. And yeah, but I think that's quite... yes, it is adventurous, but don't you think you would be borderline daredevilish? Because, yeah, it's not something that everybody would do. And Carla says, but I was more when I was younger. Now I'm 64 years old. Oh, you're still very young, Carla. 64 years young. Very nice. Good, Carla. And at 64, you come to an online lesson. Carla, I salute you. You're amazing. That's really good. You're so encouraging. Very nice. Okay, so Federico has done that. What about you guys? What have you done that is adventurous? Okay. Martina says, I consider myself to be adventurous because I think that we might try the experiences that the life offers. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. Life offers many experiences, and how you deal with them, how you look at them. Okay, could be the way that you consider yourself to be adventurous. Okay, and thank you, Carla. Okay, you're most welcome, Carla. Okay, Federico says, I don't know if is a thing for devil person, because, for example, for the question, for the fourth question, I can say I don't want to try bungee jumping. You know what, Federico, we're so similar, because I don't want to try bungee jumping too. And yes, I'm a little scared to try bungee jumping. Yep, I did go for bungee jumping and I chickened out last minute. Okay, another word, chickened out. Quit last minute. Okay, yeah, because where I come from, in my country, I'm talking about Nepal, we have the ultimate bungee, which, like, many people from around the world go there to do the bungee jumping over the Rapti River. So yes, it's quite well known for the bungee jumping scenario there. And yes, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I chickened out. All right. What about you guys? What have you done? Okay, so Or what would you like to do? Also, number 3, what adventurous thing would you like to do? Okay. When we're talking about adventures, just like just like what Martina said, life throws challenges at you, and those are all adventures too. So I mean, maybe you can be like I told you earlier, I've changed so many cities. I've basically tried to find a life in around the world, and those were very big adventures too, because okay, for example, if I talk about when I came here to Italy, was very nice because I was married to an Italian, but my husband didn't live in Italy. It was only me living here in Italy, and my husband was living in Qatar at the time. So I was alone, no language, no friends, nothing. Oh, and I was pregnant too. So yeah, so I was alone, didn't know the language, didn't know how to get around. But yes, it was an adventure and I enjoyed it. Federico says, I'd like to go camping alone one day. I haven't done it yet. Oh, you should. It's amazing, Federico. You should try that. And Carla says, in these terrible days, it could be enough to go out to walk. That's true, right? I mean, you can go out for a walk and you might catch something, a virus, for instance, and that could be adventurous. Absolutely. Understandable. Martina says, I would like to do skydiving and I would like to go in very cold place. Oh, do you mean you'd like to go to a very cold place, like a very cold country? Or I didn't quite understand that part, okay? But yes, do let me know what you mean. All right. So yes, Martina, skydiving, I would highly recommend it. It's a very nice thrill, and I'm sure you would enjoy it too. About 1 minute, you're going to free fall from the aircraft. So you're without oxygen for about a minute, and you're going to be free falling. You're going to drop down, and then at around, I think it's 10,000 feet, you open your parachute, and that's nice, right, Federico? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, all right, great. Yes, countries, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Fabiola says, I'd like to ride my motorcycle and go around the country. Wow, that sounds great. I don't even know how to cycle. Can you believe it? I mean, I don't know why. I consider myself a borderline daredevil, but I don't know how to cycle. Can you imagine that? Okay, so on a motorcycle, that's nice. I've been around at the back of a motorcycle around Asia, and I really loved it. But yes, but you know, the pollution, it gets to you. It's like really, really, you find yourself, you know, in need of a shower after that ride. Okay, all right, great. All right, so continue writing, guys, if you want to write some more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out this passage. I would have asked you to read it if I could hear it, you guys, but please do read along with me, okay? My uncle is a thrill seeker. He enjoys doing extreme sports and is fearless. I would like to be as brave as he is someday. My worst fear is heights. If I want to be a daredevil like him, I will need to be daring and face my fear. I have thought about trying something dangerous like skydiving, but I'm afraid that it's too risky and extremely hazardous. My uncle, however, says it's the biggest adrenaline rush. My mom says not to listen to him since he is an adrenaline junkie. Okay, adrenaline junkie. Carla says it's a fantastic experience. she's talking about the motorcycle. I had a Kawasaki when I was young. Oh my God, Carla, you sound like a very adventurous young lady. Very nice. Great. All right. So if you haven't understood some of the vocab in this text, please let me know, okay? Meanwhile, we'll look at which 3 words can describe someone that loves to do extreme activities, okay? Can you write down those 3 words from this text, please? Describing someone who loves to do extreme activities. All right? I'll wait for your answers. This connection is always a little bit of a problem, especially at during these times, because everybody is using it. But oh, here come the answers. Very nice. Very good. Whoops. Federico says thrill seeker, adrenaline junkie, daredevil, correct. And Martina says seeker, brave, a daredevil. Okay, great, nice. Everybody seems to know, okay, what the answers are. All right, so let's see. So thrill seeker, daredevil, adrenaline junkie. Now I want you to tell me which 3 words are synonyms for unafraid. Unafraid. Okay. 3 words, synonyms for unafraid. Unafraid. Giving you guys some time. 3 words, synonyms for unafraid. Graziella, she's just joined us. Hi, Graziella. Welcome. Okay, anyone? Oh, dangerous, hazardous. Federico, I think that would be the answer, okay, for the next one. Okay, good. Carla says fearless. Okay, so we have daring, fearless, and brave. All right. So next I want 3 words that are synonyms for unsafe. Federico, I think your answers are for the 3rd part. Right? You see the difference? Okay. Okay. I will give you these words, okay, and I will explain them. So risky, dangerous, and hazardous. So now we're looking at these words, which you have very nicely come up with, these answers. Thrill seeker, daredevil, and adrenaline junkie are people who really like extreme sports, okay? So they are the people who like to get that rush every time they do these extreme sports like skydiving, rock climbing. I think there are a couple of them that we can consider, like bungee jumping and so on. Okay, 3 words that are synonyms for unafraid. So what is unafraid? Unafraid is the opposite of afraid. Okay, so obviously brave, fearless, daring. Okay, these words describe a person who is not afraid of anything. Okay, The three words that are synonyms for unsafe would be risky. Okay, it's too risky. It's dangerous. Don't go there. It's dangerous. Okay, because it's not safe. Hazardous. Okay, so don't breathe that polluted air. It's hazardous for your health. Okay, so it's dangerous. Okay, so those are those three synonyms. Okay, all right. So guys, talking about being fearless, brave, and so on. What is your biggest fear? Okay, anyone? Can you tell me what you're afraid of? Like for me, if I have to talk about myself, I've realized that I am chicken-hearted. I have a small heart. I'm so scared. I don't like to watch horror movies, so I don't watch horror films or movies. Okay, so now the difference between films and movies, as you know, films in British English, movies American English, so the same things. Okay, horror films, I don't like to watch that because I'm scared. Okay, after I watch the movie, I imagine things. So I imagine that, you know, the ghost or the girl from The Ring is standing next to me and things like that. So I've decided that I am going to cut out horror movies, and I will not be watching horror movies or films ever. Okay, so what about you guys? So nice, very good. Graziella says, I'm afraid of heights. Very good. And Carla says the same. I am afraid of heights. Okay, so yes, there are so many people who are afraid of heights. Yeah. So I guess the sky, yeah, my daughter says she's not afraid of heights, but don't disturb us, okay? All right, so yeah, so there are many people who are afraid of heights. Yeah, very good. So what about you guys? Martina says, very good, nice. Martina says, my biggest fear is represented by germs. Oh Lord, this period is terrible for me because all people speak about them. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about that, Martina. Have you heard germaphobe? Okay, I'm just writing it down. Have you heard this term, germaphobe? You are probably a germaphobe, somebody who's scared of germs. You're very careful about, you know, getting germs on yourself, on your house, and so on. I'm really sorry to hear that, Martina, because I know that this could be a very difficult time for you if you're a germaphobe. All right. All right. Anybody else, guys? Tell us about your fears. And also, is there anything you're doing to overcome your fears? Okay, Graziella, Carla, what are you doing to overcome your fears of heights? Let me tell you that I am doing absolutely nothing to overcome my fear of horror movies, because at this time, I've decided that I'm not going to face that fear because it's not necessary. So I'm not, I just basically stopped watching horror movies. Okay, what about you guys? Are you doing anything to face your fears? And Martina, what are you doing at this time? Carla is like me. I avoid high places. Okay, so Carla, high, okay, is how you would say, I avoid high places, okay, how you would describe it. H-I-G-H, high. High places, okay. Graziella says, in spite of my fear, I keep on going to high places. Okay, so you still keep climbing heights. Okay, so I think soon you should be over your little phobia, your fear, right? Oh, Carla, there's no need to be sorry. It's my job. but thank you for saying that anyway. All right, guys, what about you guys? The rest of you, come on, there's so many of you. Or maybe you guys are typing and it's taking a long time for the comments to come in, okay? So while you're typing that, I'll just move on to the next page, but please do keep writing your answers, okay? And I'm just going to look into these conditionals. Oopsies. Nice, good. All right, so while you guys are still writing, I'm just going to read through your conditionals, okay? The first conditional, as you know, is if subject plus present simple, will plus infinitive. So basically, you're just using the present simple and will, okay? So the second conditional, with and remember your first conditional is a very almost a real situation, okay, realistic condition. All right, your second conditional is a hypothetical situation. So it is if plus past is plus subject plus past simple would plus infinitive. And third conditional, if plus past oh my god, what's happening to me today? If plus subject plus past perfect would plus have plus past participle. So it goes on to be hypothetical also, okay? So remember, your zero and first conditionals are real. Your second and third conditionals are hypothetical situations, all right? Okay, before we go on with that, let's look at what Martina has to say. Martina says, generally, I try to think that if another person does a thing, it isn't so dangerous. But in this period, it is a little bit different. People are confused by the situation. Yes, exactly, Martina, you're right, because it is so new. This virus is an old virus, okay, like the SARS and so on, but it is a new strain of the virus. So people really don't know how to react. I mean, every day we're learning something new. And of course, it mutates. So again, that's making it a little more difficult for us. And of course, they are still trying to look for the vaccines. And I'm sure that they're going to come up with something soon, Martina. I hope, fingers crossed. And so hopefully everything will be back to normal. It's going to take a while for things to get back to normal, but I think slowly but surely things will be back to normal. But I understand you, Martina. I can imagine how difficult this period is for you. Okay. All right, so back to conditionals at this time. Okay, so remember, as I told you, your zero and first conditionals are real. Okay, so the situation is real. The zero conditional is almost scientifically proven. Okay, so zero and first real, second and third are hypothetical conditions. All right, so let's practice a little bit. Okay. So now what I want you to do is, guys, can you complete these in conditional sentences, okay? Number one, if you were an adrenaline junkie, which activity would you choose? Okay. If you could do any three activities, which would you do? You can also imagine, invent, okay? Doesn't matter. We're just looking for English here. Number three, if you were a thrill seeker, which activities might be boring or not enough of an adrenaline rush for you? Okay, so I want you to complete those sentences, answer those questions, okay? However you want to do it, all right? in this picture here, you see a person rock climbing. Have any of you tried that? It looks very dangerous. I've never tried it. Very nice. Great. So Fabiola says, if my friend wants to go skydiving, I will go with them. Okay, good. I will go with, okay, I will go with them. It's fine. Okay, I was thinking of putting into an individual, but that's fine. Okay, so Carla says, if I were an adrenaline junkie, I would like to fly. Fly. As in like a bird, or would you like to fly in an aeroplane or what? Okay, so shh, Judson, please keep quiet. And I would like to surf. Okay, Martinia says, I would like to surf. Oh yes, surfing is very difficult. I've tried to surf and I have been so bad at it. I have been really bad at it. Yes. Yeah. Can you guys think of do you know anybody who is an adrenaline junkie? I mean, amongst friends, family. Okay, so tell me, what have they done? Okay, so I want a lot of answers, as much as you can, right? Okay, so any friend or family member who loves extreme sports or likes to take risks. Okay. Okay. Fabiola says, if I were fearless, I would go skydiving. Nice. Very nice. With okay, so the first time you go skydiving, you will always have an instructor strapped to you. So it didn't feel very much like an extreme sport because you had an instructor with you, like literally strapped onto you. Strapped. Let me write this word. Strapped, basically, you know, stuck together with you, tied together with you. Okay. All right. So what is this? If I Graziella says, if I were an adrenaline junkie, I would fly with a Delta plane. Okay. Do you think Delta is really bad? So remember would with plus would plus, okay, just let me write it down. Would plus. If I look back at what you were saying, I would, remember your conditionals, your would be plus an infinitive. Okay, so just wanted to show you that would have to go with an infinitive. Whoopsie. Would infinitive. Carla says, if I could do any 3 activities, I would have done swimming, sailing, and surfing. Okay, would have done swimming, sailing, and surfing. That sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, great. Graziella, you've corrected yourself. Very nice. Good. All right. So what about the rest of you guys? There were so many people. Federico, where are you? Federico, tell us about your experiences, your sentences. Okay, guys, do you know anyone who loves extreme sports, who's an adrenaline junkie? friends, family. I can't think of anybody that I know who is a real adrenaline junkie, but well, maybe there was somebody I knew in the past who really liked a lot of this in these extreme sports. A lot of there was this colleague of mine who liked, you know, all types of sports. One day would be kite surfing, the other day would be like rock climbing. He's also done bungee. Oh, he's also had like full body tattoos, and yeah. So yeah, that guy. Yeah, if I have to think about anyone, I would have to say that person, that colleague that I knew back in the day. Yeah. Some more examples, guys. Would you like? Can you write down a few more examples? If you were a thrill seeker, which activities might be boring or not enough of an adrenaline rush for you? Ooh, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I've seen videos of people trying to walk on this skywalk, you know, between hills, very at a very high area. Okay, where you look down and you know you basically see the end of the world. So yeah, those could be things that you can consider. Martina says, if I could do 3 activities, I would do skydiving, rock climbing, and also do a boat trip around the world. Oh, nice. Very nice, Martina. Very good. So 3 activities, skydiving, rock climbing, and a boat trip around the world. Very nice. Nice. Okay. Still giving you some time. Fabiola says, if I were an adrenaline junkie, I would do all the extreme sports. Okay, we don't say unsafety in this case. We just call them extreme sports. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Great. Carla says, if I were a thrill seeker, I wouldn't lie on the sofa. So you don't use to. Okay. So you just say, I wouldn't lie on the sofa. Okay. Great. But you deserve some rest, Carla. You deserve some rest, and you deserve to lie on the sofa. You've done a lot when you were younger on your little Kawasaki bike. Okay, great. All right, so let's move on. Okay. So a little activity here. You must convince, it's an exercise here, you must convince your friend to come along with you on an adventure to face their worst fear. Include a description of the activity, conditional phrases, and new vocabulary. Okay, so can you write down in a few sentences, all right, where you would like to take your friend? Okay, for example, I know some of you are scared of germs, some of you are scared of heights. So, for example, just take anyone as an example and write a sentence what you would do to convince that friend to come with you to face their worst fears. You have to include the description of the activity, a conditional phrase, and maybe some of the new vocabulary that you used, that we've learned today. Okay, thrill seeker, hazardous, okay, brave. Okay, so use all those words. Okay, I'm going to wait for you because I know it takes some time to write down. So if you hear some silence on my part, it doesn't mean I've gone away. I'm here. I'm still here. I'm just waiting for you guys to write. Okay. Right. For example, I'll just keep talking. Okay. You guys write. For example, if I maybe had a friend who was afraid of heights, I would maybe convince him or her to come with me and maybe go up to the Everest base camp. Okay, so just a hike there through the hiking trails, so that we could look down at the little towns, and maybe that friend of mine would be happy and get over her fear. Carla says, next summer, 2021, I will go diving in the Caribbean Sea. Okay, so sea, S-E-E, is what you do with your eyes. Okay, so vision is sea. But in this case, when you're talking about the Caribbean Sea, this is how you spell the sea. Although the pronunciation is the same, this is how you would write sea. Okay, S-E-A-C. That's nice, Carla. You have such a good plan. Diving in the Caribbean Sea, it's a dream. Beautiful. This picture, it's such a beautiful picture of people hiking up and carrying really big backpacks like trekkers usually do. So this must be more like a trek. Okay, so yes, looks very nice indeed. They're all up there with their mountain gear, or their hiking gear in this case, or their trekking gear in this case, more apt, trekking gear. So you can go for a hike. Okay, so I'm just going to write it down, a hike. And you can also go on a trek. Okay, a trek would be a more technical, I think, because a hike, you can go for a hike up in the mountains on the Saturday afternoon, but a trek, you would usually be with full gear and you would have a plan, or a map, and so on. Okay, for a trek. And Carla says, it's only a dream, so it's the third conditional. It's hypothetical. Okay, could be the second or third, right, Carla? Very good. Great. Nice. So a hike and a trek, right? Okay. Also, usually for a trek, you have a lot of equipment, and you will be probably out for, more than a day. You'll probably be sleeping at a shelter or an accommodation along the way. Like, for example, where I come from, Nepal, a lot of people go to Nepal for trekking. So it's an organized trip. A hike would be, at the back of my house, we have a small, if you live in the countryside, the woods are behind my house, so I can just go for a little hike, etc. Okay, so that's the difference. Martina says, let's go skydiving. I know you have a fear of flying, but if you try, you will have fun and see a lot of things. If I were you, I would think very well. I would think hard about this possibility. You can become an adrenaline junkie. Very good. Good job, Martina. Good. Very nice. All right. So, Fabiola, when we're talking about third conditional, it's a hypothetical situation, okay? You're going to have you're in your first part of your sentence, or you can also interchange it, but let's talk about it in the classical term, okay? Like in the form, it's going to be a hypothetical past. You're going to use had plus past participle in the first half of your sentence, and in the second half, it's a probable result. So you will have a past, which where you will use would have plus past participle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that slide again, and it's a very nicely explained slide. Okay, so if you want, some of you who are still not sure, take a picture of this slide. Okay, and it is going to be very useful for you. Okay. Okay, so Fabiola, to answer your question, if plus subject plus past perfect. So past perfect would be had plus the past participle. Okay, and then you would use would have plus past participle. Okay. If I hadn't been pushed outside of my comfort zone, I would have been in the same place you saw me 20 years ago. Okay, so if I would have been, so past participle been is what I'm using. Okay, in the same place you saw me 20 years ago. Okay, another example. If I hadn't overcome my biggest fear, I would have started having nightmares. Okay, so I'm using started as a past participle. Okay, does that clear your question, Fabiola? Graziella writes in, she says, next weekend I will go up to the top of Grand Paradise Mountain to do some skydiving. Charles, would you like to join? It will be great. It will be great, okay? Or you can say, we will have a great time. If you join, it will be very exciting. Good, very nice. So Graziella has said, next weekend, I will go up to the top of Grand Paradise Mountain to do some skydiving. Okay. All right. So Charles, her friend, would you like to join? It will be great. It will be great. If you join, it will be very exciting. Nice. All right. So Graziella, normally going on top of a mountain to do some skydiving, I don't know if you can skydive from a mountain. Usually we do it from aircrafts, little aeroplanes, you know, but I have to tell you at this point, I'm not sure if they do it from mountaintops. From mountaintops is probably, you're talking about gliders, you're talking about gliding, okay? But very nice, at least you've made an effort. Great. Great. All right, guys, we're a little short of time now, so I will have to wrap up. Really great having you guys here to participate, and I wish you a wonderful day, and stay safe, and I'll see you soon, okay? Take care. Bye.